live and direct again with my brother Prashant. How are you, Prashant?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Like everything, the same Wednesday. Yes, yes,
That's great. That's great. Another great opportunity for us to reason today. I'm always very delighted and happy to have you here. And I think I'm not the only one because people are showing great response, great vibe to our reasoning. So
yeah,
why not keep going? Huh? Why not keep
yes,
going? Today we're gonna take this a bit in a different route, but not so much. It's why can't we overstand the basics? And the basics, I'm talking about the very basic stuff like the power of love. To start, the power of love. Why do we reverse that and have more love for power than the power of love in our hearts so we can create change together, because if I come from the heart, you come from the heart, she come from the heart, we all come from the heart. Bingo. We're in. Like, that's how I see it. It's get it, the connection is from the heart. So what comes from the heart, it's surely the real love come from the heart. Certainly doesn't come from there because it's going to be corrupt or something. So it's from the heart. So why can't we, PT, tell me, why can't we understand the basics? Just like I said, love, but it could be the power of love, the power of gratitude, having a great attitude with life, the, how to change one's vibration to elevate constantly, to a greater level of happiness and joy, because that's what it does. Like, what the change of vibration is going to do, you're not going to change the neighbor's mood, but you're going to change your calibration, your level of calibration inside, and that's what you're going to bring out more and more. Like, it's important to raise one vibration, then you connect with the world, you express that power of love. That I think that's how I see it through my experiences. That's how I see it.
yes,
So
yes,
let me know, PT, your views on that.
yes. The thing is that like when when you talk about we or people, like they are beings, right? Like everybody is a being. Okay, like so, like when you take a being as a being, okay, then after that there is a state of being. Okay, like every being has a state of being through which they manifest their circumstance, their reality, their everything through their state of being. Okay,
What did
so
you said? A steak?
state of beings.
Oh, state. Okay, I understood steak. I was
It's
like,
a
I
state
was
of
gonna bring you somewhere else, but okay, go.
it's a state of being. Okay, state.
Yes,
Okay,
state.
so like so if you take, like, if everybody is a being, okay, then then each being has a state of being, a state.
Yeah.
It's a very important thing. We can take it slowly. Okay, then every being has a state of being. Okay, according to that state, they manifest their reality. Okay, they manifest whatever is around them, or whatever is their circumstance. The word circumstance is used for that. There's their own circumstance, their surroundings, their world. You can call it their world. Okay, each being manifests their own world according to their state of being. Okay, state of being. Okay, now a being has to reflect upon their state of being. Okay, they have to be honest about it, that okay, this is my state of being. Okay, I am here. Okay, and I am at this point, juncture, level, whatever you want to call it. Like so when being decides to be honest about that, then they will say, like, okay, I want to improve my state of being. Okay, from whatever state of being, level of state of being I am, I'll try to improve that. Okay, so that urge is a primary urge. It is the most primary basic urge. Like what you call, like, the most primary, like the very, very core basic thing. Okay. If that thing is not there, okay, everything goes crazy after that. Okay. Like if that basic primary core thing is not there, everything from that point will go crazy. You will not be able to take any right action, decision, like the you said power of love or love of power, anything, like, that is just one of the things. What I'm saying is, as a whole, everything, you cannot take a one step, one foot forward, right, if you don't understand that you have a state of being and you want to elevate it, improve it. Okay,
Yeah.
because otherwise life becomes meaningless. Okay, otherwise there's no point of living, right? I mean, if you are living, you have to want to do that, and if you do that, then only can you have any positive influence on others. I mean, let's bring the others into it, which is the we, which is the others. I mean, you cannot have a positive influence unless you are doing that for yourself. Okay,
And
so once you yeah,
we can
yeah,
call that getting unstuck also. Some people are
yeah,
stuck.
yeah, there's not a question of stuckness, there's no stuckness, it's just a question of lack of honesty.
Yeah,
Okay,
lack of
okay,
honesty too.
it's like okay, you don't understand that you are creating your own world by your state of being. Okay, your own reality is created by your state of being. Okay, so when you understand that properly, then you understand that whatever is happening around you, it's because of your level of state of being. Okay, for your life and your world. Okay, so then you know that what you can't change the outside, you have to change your own state.
Yeah, but
Okay,
if you're
yeah,
not even aware that you have power to create, that you can be an artist, you can create anything you want and stuff. If you don't
yeah,
have that within you, like
yeah,
this is the unawareness I'm talking about.
yeah.
Often it's you're here to create. You're not just here to to do, but you're here to be. Like this is very basic also.
Yes, yes. I mean, obviously, the point is that obviously, like from your state, like that's what people are not taught at school. Okay,
Exact.
that your state of being creates your reality. Your state of being yourself creates your reality. Okay, it's not that, like it's nothing else. Your world is created by you. Okay, so
Yeah.
if whatever you're experiencing, whatever you are getting, whatever you around you is created by your state of being. Okay, so if you are happy with that, okay, that's fine. If you are happy with whatever is being your world and what is created by you, then you don't need to change your state of being. Then it's okay, like it's perfect. Like if and if you look at that, and if you are not pleased about your state of being or whatever is manifested around you or your world, if you're not happy with that, then you have to do some changes. Now where do those changes have to be? Now that changes have to be in your state of being. Then you have to say, oh, I have to improve my state of being. Okay, then you'll have to say, like, okay, where do I learn how to improve my state of being? You have to learn that, isn't it? It's not just going to fall from somewhere like that. You will know how to improve your state of being. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, like how to actually improve your state of being. That comes down to learning. Then then you have to learn how to improve your state of being. Okay, and if you're sincere about it, if you are really sincere about changing your state of being or improving your state of being, then you will get that thing, the information or the knowledge required for changing or elevating your state of being. Okay, and that's where the basics come. Those are the basics which are necessary for elevating anyone's state of being, and that applies to every being. Like you, me, anybody else, any being, it applies to everyone. Those basics are not like they're just for this person or not for that person or not for that person. There are some basic, just like nature has laws, this multiverse has laws. You have
Exact.
to have that. It's not like this is not running on a random thing. This whole thing is not random first. Okay.
A tree, the way a tree grows in India and China
Yeah,
and Canada
yeah,
and USA, it's all the same. They grow in the dirt. So,
yes, and the process is same too. The
and
laws
the
are the same too.
process is the same.
Yeah, yeah. So for everyone changing, so most people don't even realize that they have a state of being. Okay, most people out here don't even realize they are beings. Okay, they think that they are this name or this name, this person, this thing, that thing. Okay, they have this idea of I'm John or I'm Rakesh or whatever, like Jim saying. Okay, when you have a name, it doesn't give you a sense of your beingness. Okay,
That's
your
profound.
name,
Go ahead.
yeah, your name takes away your sense of beingness. You never, because you feel like you are this particular name. Okay, or you work at this place, you are this name, you work at this place, so this is who you think you are. Okay, like you think you are the person who has this name, and when people call you by that name, you turn your head, and you think you are that name and you are that thing. So at a very basic level, you feel that this creates a sense of artificial construct. Okay, of you as different things: mother, brother, father, sister, like working someplace, with this name. So this is an artificial construct which is created around your beingness. So your beingness never comes into play, like like which is who you actually are as a being, never comes into play in all of that. That's a construct which is created around it, and you get so lost in that construct that you forget about beingness completely, because that word is not used. I mean, I never see that word being used, mostly beingness anywhere, like, like it's not used, because like that's why all the dealings don't go like that. People's dealing go like, okay, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is her name, this is my name. Okay, it's not like I am a being dealing with this other being. Okay, things are never seen in that level. Okay, so if you're not dealing on a being level first, like, which is beingness, being,
I
being.
think we
Yeah,
see stuff,
yeah,
but on the matrix level a lot, like it's on
yeah,
the overlay level, and
yeah,
never to the point where just looking behind the
yeah,
curtain of illusion of all that stuff.
yeah. I mean, obviously, so the very basic point comes down to beingness. If you don't know even beingness, okay, at all, which is, I'm saying, you don't know that you're a being first, then how will you know your state of being? State of being is a second thing. Is the second thing. Like, what level is my being at? No, that is another level. That is a tough one. If you don't even know you're a being, to find out what level of being you are at, you know. But there is a good clue in the matrix for knowing what level of being you are. Okay, that clue is what you create and what you manifest around you. Okay, so,
Ah,
that your
in the
world,
physical world,
in the
in the
physical world. So
world of form.
yeah, so that gives you a clue, and that is that thing there to what your state or level of being is. So one has to be honest about it. And if even if it is bad, if one's reality is bad, if one's manifestation is bad, or if one is not that thing, then one has to be honest about it. Okay, this is my level of being. One doesn't have to get depressed about it, or like that thing. One just has to be honest and clear about it. Okay, this is my situation, and this is my level of my state of being. Okay, and because no matter what level you are at, you can always take the level higher, just through actions. Okay, and that choice of actions you have right now, which is called life, that's what life is. Life is series of actions. You have a choice of actions. Okay, that's what life is. There's nothing else in life. Life is actions, and you have the opportunity to do that. Okay, so for that, first you have to understand you have a being, then you have to understand you have a state of being. Okay, which manifests your reality. Okay, or your world. And you, like, obviously most beings right now are not happy with the state of their reality or what they're manifesting. Okay, so it is automatic that they have to elevate their being. Okay, it's very simply understood that they have to elevate their being, and then for that they will have to do some actions for elevating that. That is basics. Okay, so this is what basics is. Basics is beingness, second state of being, then third is elevating that state of being. Okay, so there are these three steps basically for everybody, like, and like getting through all of that. For the first step, you have to get through all of that curtain you said, of people being like having being caught up in all this, that thing of like, like image, even, what people think of me. Okay, a lot of people are worried about what people are saying about them, or what that thing, or what this thing, and having an image and all of that, which is not important. Because what is important is what you think of yourself. you
But
know
that's the
yeah, or what,
honesty part. It's missing.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
missing a lot. So
yeah, yeah, what you know about yourself. Okay, that's more important. I mean, what others can never know that much about yourself as you know about yourself. Okay, like, okay. I mean,
but
yeah,
this
yeah,
is a
yeah,
process also, knowing yourself, getting to know
yeah,
yourself. Like I always say,
yeah,
I'm just scratching the surface of my potential. I haven't
yeah,
getting in touch with everything that I want to be. I still have more experience to have. I'm still very young. I have to discover life. I have to get in touch with great people that like love and everything. I want to know what love is and all that stuff. So it's
yeah,
a
yes,
very long
yeah,
route. But if you're
yeah.
impatient, also it's like
Yeah, the impatience is not the thing in this, because first you have to find out about your state of being. Okay, what reality you're manifesting. Okay, like right now most people's state of being is that they are trapped out here in this reincarnation cycle, and they're trapped in this situation. That's the state of being. Okay, now that's a fact. Okay, now if you run away from this fact, See what I'm saying? Then you are in problem. Whenever you run away from facts in this multiverse, anytime, any being runs away from facts, they are in a problem. Okay, it's a very simple thing. It's not very complicated. You run away from facts, you are in trouble. Okay, if you go into a woo woo la la land, no, 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 I'm not stuck anywhere. I can do whatever. I can change whatever I want. I can do that. I can. If you do these kind of affirmations when you can't actually do something, oh, you can say I can lift 500 kgs right now. Okay, of weight, but like okay, of which will be like whatever, like it'll be 500 pounds or whatever in that thing, but you cannot like so like like having this kind of notions about the self, what the self cannot or can or cannot do is no good. That's why in the new age right now they are always affirming all kinds of things. I am this, I'm the creator, I'm that thing, I'll do this, I'll do that. Okay, I mean, once you do that, then you can say you do that. You don't have to even say that. Okay, once you can do
That's
that,
it.
I mean, if you can actually do all of that, then that's good for you. Like then you won't have to say any of that. By just affirming nonsense, one has to stick to reality, what the actual reality of the being is, because otherwise you cannot improve. Like because a lot of people are saying, I'm this, I'm the creator itself. Now I'm that thing. I'm going to do that and this, that. Okay, I mean, you cannot create anything. You can't create a multiverse universe. You can't create anything right now. You know, you are not that. Okay, so like stick to what level you are at. Like what is the situation right now, and sort of be honest about it, and don't get disheartened. Okay, if you are not there as yet, because one has to get there to higher levels of existence or higher states of being. One needs work. Okay, it doesn't happen without work, and that's what life is. I mean, that's what time and life and everything is. It's a time and opportunity for one to do that work. Okay, and one can start anytime. I'm saying no time is not a good time for starting. Okay, every time is a good time for starting, no matter what age you are, what that thing. Any time is a good time to start. Okay, I mean, but one has to be very very clear and honest, and one has to have that thing, because a lot of people like are not like, let's say, like they are fine with what their state of being is, in the sense what is being created around them. They are not disenchanted with it.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
what is around them? Yeah,
there's also something is we have a
yeah,
sense that what
yeah,
surrounds us, the reality that we live in, is kind of
yeah,
real. Like I never questioned anything about nature, about the trees, about just everything in
yeah,
nature, about the outer fake outer
yeah,
space, all that stuff. Like the
yeah,
unawareness of the external world is very very much there. So
yes,
you're very unaware of your internal world. If it's
yeah.
gotta you
It's
said it the
both
other
ways.
day, as within, so without,
Yeah.
or something
Oh,
you said.
yes, you have to stick to the facts on both levels. Yeah, that's what the point is. You have to be stick to the fact. If you don't, for example, if you don't get to the facts outside, okay, like even which comes from nature, like nature is more factual and
Yeah.
it's more clear, like as you've been observing, so you'll know that. Okay, but the thing is that a lot of people have that thing that, okay, I'll figure it all out. Okay, like figure it out. Like that's a lot of people in YouTube right now also have this. Okay, I as a being will figure it all out. The whole thing, like, and there's this whole thing to figure it all out, figure it all out. Okay, but your state of being is not at that level where you can figure it all out, and that's a fact. Okay, so then you get into this quandary that, okay, I'm going to try and figure it out. And people are doing, and people are going crazy. A lot of people are going absolutely nuts trying to figure it all out. Their hard drives are crashing, their computer is that thing, like it's you will face that thing in front of you, like that. Okay, like, and that's what is happening. A lot of people are trying to, and from their state of being, and their state of being is not, it is like a, like if you had like a very low processing unit, like from the past, and you run a like a software of today on it, like it will not work, it'll crash.
Like
So
you're not
yeah,
showing quantum physics or stuff like that to a 5-year-old. It's like I
yeah,
just woke up in this world. I'm just
yeah,
being reborn. So I'm gonna take it step by step. I'm gonna start to walk first, then maybe I'll run, maybe I'll.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's step by step, and I
yeah,
don't pretend knowing. And I
yeah,
mean, I don't know nothing, and I'm okay with
yeah,
that. I prefer that.
yeah,
I wake up with a smile every day, and that's it. So
yes,
no, it's
yeah,
not about.
but that's yeah, but I'm talking about all the people right now, a lot of people out
Yeah.
there on YouTube who are trying to figure it all out. Okay, that's what it
Oh
is
yeah.
about. Okay, like, yeah, to figure it all out. Okay, and that's why they're running into a lot of roadblocks. They're having a lot of confusion, a lot of problems and a lot of that thing is happening. A lot of negativity is being created because you're trying to figure out things from your level of being, but no one ever out there is saying that I'm going to change my state of being or improve my state of being in
You know,
order
Prashant,
to understand more. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
too much
yeah,
information is like too much alcohol, too much drugs, too much anything. You know, too much information, you're gonna go a bit fucked up inside.
yeah,
Sorry
but
to say it like that,
yeah,
but that's
yeah,
the way it is.
yeah, but the even the core of that, it's not just information. The core inside why people are doing that, because they have this inner urge that they can figure it out. They actually think that they actually think
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
can
yeah,
figure it
yeah,
all
yeah.
out. It comes from inside where they feel like they can figure it all out, and because they are not honest about their state of being, they don't understand that they are
Yeah.
not any state of being to figure it all out. Okay, that's where what I was talking about honesty comes in. You have to
Honesty.
honestly look at yourself and see like, okay, what can I figure out and what can't I figure out? And what you can't figure out, you have to say like, okay, I will not try to figure it out like like with any kind of force or like in a kind of way where it doesn't make any sense. I try to raise my level, state of being, then things will automatically be clear to me. If I raise my level of being and state of being, then things will automatically be clear to me. It's like that. But they think that no, they'll stay at the same level of being, do the same things, have the same lifestyle, have same everything, and make no changes to their state of being, but still try to figure it all out. Okay, now that is not possible. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's the roadblock, that's the wall which a lot of people are hitting their heads on right now, which I see. It's, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about a lot of people on internet right now. Okay, like, because this is about people, isn't it? Like, we are talking about for people by like, it's not about my thing or your thing. It is about everybody out there. So
Yeah.
what people are doing out there is this: they are hitting their head on that wall. And nowhere in most of the things, there's no talk about changing or elevating your state of being. It's That's not there. It's like, okay, figure it out. Okay, what is that thing? What are the ends of the Antarctic? What is beyond the Antarctic? You're going to speculate on that. Or what is there? What is happening behind the stars and the moon and this
Yeah.
and that thing, projections, all these things. So,
We're still
so
stuck very, very much on the outside world, and that's on
yeah,
YouTube. That's everywhere. Everybody that call themselves truthers or stuff
yeah,
like that. Very, if you like, you can perceive that state of being when you look at what people do, not what they, but what they do online and what they talk about. Me, I can tell you someone's state of being, or not by judging, but by comparing to mine, maybe, or something.
yeah,
That
yeah,
just by the way they talk, just by the
yeah.
way they talk on YouTube, or what they like, where are they at their are they so only on the external part, or they look internal, or
Yes, I mean, because they're not, these people are not looking at their state of being. They're not
that's
ever
it.
that thing. And a lot of people have no connection to nature, even, and that thing. So they don't get the common sense. So all these things, and so the first steps which are there with that you are a being, okay, and there is a state of being. That has been lied to. Like, nobody tells that to people that you have a state of being. Okay, and there are levels to beingness, which I've been like repeating through all our talks. There are many levels to beingness is not just one thing. Okay, there are states of being. Okay, there are many states of being. There are beings at a state which can create whole like universes and realms and world, and there are beings at a state which are struggling to
and
even
and
like,
I
yeah,
can be
yeah,
honest, I see those levels, because I look at
yeah,
myself and I look at you're like a being level a bit. You have done a bit more work than me. You've been into this a bit longer, like you're looking
yeah,
at yourself, being honest with yourself, and I
yes,
can see it in you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's why I
The
want to
point is,
learn from
the
you,
point is, I
because
mean,
you are a little bit of state of being higher than mine. Like, I don't want to say, I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
put you
So
on a
yeah,
pedestal, Prashant,
yeah,
but you are great, man. You have done great
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have educated us in a way that probably no one will. So no, I give thanks for that.
Yes, the thing is that this has been the main problem in all of the new age thing and all of the that things, whatever has been happening on this, like, is that people don't understand these states of being. Okay, and then because what happens after that is that you don't know how to deal with different beings. Okay, because
Exactly.
a being is going to deal with another being. Now both beings will have different state of being.
You
No
become
two beings will
arrogant.
have, yeah. So no two beings will have the same state of being. Okay. Okay. There'll be some differences in that thing. There can be major differences or minor differences. Okay. Sometimes there are major differences. Okay. So like, and sometimes they're minor. Okay. But the thing is that any which way, like, how do you deal with beings? Okay. There has to be some codes to this. Like, and in the multiverse, there is a whole that thing of how to deal with other beings depending on what your level is and what their level is. Okay. That's called behavior. Okay. That's the word called behavior. Okay. Because you have to deal with beings. Okay. Either you don't deal with anybody. Okay. Then that's fine. You are yourself. You are there. You don't have to deal with any being. Okay. You insulate yourself in a way where you don't deal with any being. Okay. That is number one. If you're going to deal with beings, okay, then if you're going to deal with beings, then you have to decide on, like, you have to know what you're dealing with. Okay. If you don't know what you're dealing with, who are you and what you're dealing with, then you can't behave properly. You can't behave accordingly. Whenever you don't behave accordingly, that's called misbehavior. Okay. You'll misbehave. What will happen for misbehave? It's bad karma. Okay. Bad karma means your state of being will go down further. Simple. Okay. Your state of being was there, now you misbehaved, and now you're going to go down further, just because you don't know how to behave, and because you don't have this. And whosoever is controlling this thing, paradigm, this thing right now, they don't want people to know this. They don't want people to know there's a thing called behavior. They don't want people, like, like, that's what everything is about. Is everything is about all their body language, everything, like hip hop and stuff like that, which was brought in, and that thing and stuff like that. So people are going like this, like this and stuff. Now that means, like, you are trying to confront another being. That way is confrontational. Okay. As a being, you are trying to confront another being. It's like asking for war. You are saying, come fight with me. Okay. Okay,
And
that's the body language. Yeah.
this kind of stuff happens often in our homes, in our very homes. The war. You
Yeah.
don't have to look so much outside
Yeah.
in the world. Look in your
Yeah.
house. Sometimes there's
Yeah.
war in your own house.
Yes. Yes. So then the body language says war. Okay. Okay. Now, if body language says war, then if you're dealing with a being which is higher than you, okay, and if you declare war on them, okay, and say, like, fight with me, then what is going to happen to you? I mean,
And
it's nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that we can
Yeah.
perceive when someone's negative with you. Like sometimes I talk about what I do, like to some people, and they will have a negative reaction to what I do. Like they make me feel like I'm the crazy one or something. You know what I mean? So their
Yes.
state of being is very, very arrogant towards mine, where mine is like I don't.
Yeah, but
I
that's not their state of being. When they're being arrogant, okay, they're not. That's not their state of being.
yeah.
That's their dishonesty. They're not looking at their state of being. If they look at their state of being properly, they will not be arrogant. I can guarantee you that. Okay, like, if a being actually goes into themselves and has any, like, honest look, you know what I'm saying, the arrogance will go anyways. Like, right now, most people are not in a state in any which way to be arrogant at all, because they have nothing. They're just trapped here. Like, you are just trapped, like, beings out here. Like, it's nothing to be arrogant about. Like, there is nothing for people to be
And what
arrogant
happens if
about at
it
all.
comes from someone close to you, like your wife or something, and her state of being is not matching yours, and often there's conflict or stuff? Like, how do you
Yeah,
do?
but even no matter who it is coming from, it is only coming from because
Yeah,
that particular being has not looked into themselves, and they have not assessed their state of being.
you forgive.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, all the problems which are happening on Earth, all of them are happening from a simple reason: because beings are not perceiving their own state of being.
Yeah,
No one is honest about their level of being. Okay, it's a simple thing. Okay, and
I try to
how
forgive and
can you talk
forget.
about any
Is
kind
the
of love?
thing?
Nothing can happen if our beings don't do that. Okay, there's no love possible. Nothing is possible. Okay,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's not possible. Nothing is possible. Like, unless that is done. Okay, no proper interaction, no
yeah.
beneficial, meaningful, elevating interaction is possible. Okay, like, it is a very, very simple thing. One has
That's
to have. Yeah.
That's what I was
And
saying myself yesterday. I was like I was talking with my wife, and we were I don't know why we were talking about something, and suddenly her reaction was a bit negative, and I'm like, I was telling to me and myself, I said, I can change her, I can put love in her heart, I can put sense in her heart. I have to forgive and forget and let go, because if not, it creates more conflict. If I go and confront her with others, like she makes relation to like the basics. I sometimes I feel like there is this misconnection a bit happening because
Like what
I
I
know
would
a
say
little
that,
bit more about myself, where I don't know. I feel like there's certainly because she
yeah,
would
I mean, the
not
point is like,
create the opportunity to have conflicts or stuff. You know what I mean?
point is that like most beings don't even know they're beings. Okay, they don't,
That's it.
out here they don't know that they're beings. They think that they are this something. There are some labels. I told you, like, they don't even know that there's a thing called beingness. Okay, like,
Yeah,
they're
but
not
you can't tell
conscious.
them that; they'll be fully offended. So
Yeah,
how
yeah,
do you deal with it?
yeah. I mean, it's not that it's that they have to know that. I mean, they have to see whether you are this, like whatever person's name is. You have to ask them, are you this name? Are you this name? Is that you? Like, is that name you? Okay, is what are you? Like, I mean, are you this name, or just this thing who does this, or who is this person's wife or husband or whatever, or I mean, you have to ask that kind of thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that kind of thing, like, where a being, if a being refuses to see themselves as a being, then we have a problem. We, like, it's a problem. Like, you cannot interact with a being who refuses to see themselves as a being. you
Yeah,
know like,
that's the
I mean,
thing.
you cannot deal with that. Okay, it's not possible. Okay, there's no way. There's no forgiving, forgetting, nothing. There's no way to deal with it.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
yeah, it's as simple as that. You cannot deal with somebody who doesn't even know they're a being. I mean, that's how basic it gets. I mean, it's a very, very basic thing. Like, it has to be, that has to be understood. Like, and like, people have to be like, this deprogramming has to be done, where people lose all these sense of labels. There are too many labels and no beingness. Okay, like,
And
there are all kinds of
one
labels.
one
Yeah,
I have to have the desire to learn also,
I mean,
and
like, I mean, somebody says, like, I'm a reggae person or that thing, like, I'm a reggae musician or that thing. Okay, I mean, so is that you? Like, you're a reggae musician? Is that your being? Okay, I mean, if you're being, because being, if it has music, it doesn't, it's not restricted to reggae. Music cannot be just the same chords played in the same rhythm or something like that. Like, I mean, it's not. What I'm saying is, these labels are very. I mean, they are good for making money, or they are good for having a, like, a image in this world, or having a livelihood. That's all it is good for. That you are just that. You're a reggae person, then you're a reggae person. Then you do that, then you people give you money or whatever. Just just because you are just that.
it's to
Like,
fit in
yes,
also. We love to
yeah,
fit in. So
yeah,
Rasta, reggae,
yeah,
Rastafari, all this is just something that me, I have no belief. I have not attached to anything. I don't even have attachment to
yeah,
name.
yeah. What I'm saying is, I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah,
Giving
yeah,
you an
but
example.
that's what
Yeah,
people do. They're
yeah,
attached to these labels, and then they want to fit in, and they don't want to disturb too much because it's going to disturb the people in that group, in that community, if I speak too much truth about, because everything is fantasy in the world,
yeah,
everything. So you can touch anything in this overlay, in any
yeah.
religion, any music,
Yeah.
everything is fantasy. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's not even fantasy thing. It's actually, it's a, like, a boxing. It's more a
yeah,
boxing. You create a box. Like, for example, if
exactly.
my music, for example, if I play music, there's no box to it. Okay, there's no box. Nobody can say my music is this or that, or it doesn't have a label
You
at all.
don't play a
Okay, so
certain style of music. You don't play rock and
no,
roll.
no.
No, you play music.
If I play music, I play all kind, like, whatever. If
Yeah.
everybody hears all of my music, they will not know what to label it. There can be no label which can be created for it. So the point is that if no label can be created, then people don't listen to it, because there's no label. If I put the music out in a certain label, then more people will listen to it, because there'll be a box, and then everybody will go into that box and they'll listen to it, because there'll be a box. If there is no label in box, people don't listen to it. And that's the thing about everything. So if you're caught in these labels continuously, you don't come to know of your beingness. Okay, and if you don't even come to know of your beingness, how can you come to know of your level or state of beingness? That is the more deeper thing. It's more farther thing. It's a more realistic. That's where reality comes in. Okay, reality is that you're a being. Okay, that is a reality. Okay, you're not this name, you're not this, that thing, you're not any of these things. You are not what your social situation is, or your condition is, or like some people say they're an author, some people say they are that, some people, just because you've written a book then you're an author. I mean, if you are, I mean, it's a, all these things are strange things. They are nothing to do with your beingness. Okay. So people have to first like discover their beingness, that they are not any of these things, they are a being. Okay. And once you are a being, then responsibility comes. Responsibility in the sense that whatever actions you do as a being will determine your future as a being. Okay. The sense of responsibility will only come when you discover that you're a being. If you're not a being, then you can do anything. It does not matter. If you're not a being, then you can do whatever. It does not matter. Okay, like you just that thing as, so people don't have that sense of responsibility then for their own actions.
That's
Okay, and if you
why
don't have
we
any,
do all those evil rituals without even knowing, like eating flesh and stuff. I have blood all over the place. Like,
yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is, then that's the point. Like when you're not a being, then you don't find yourself responsible for your actions.
exactly.
If you understand the concept of beingness, then you understand that in time your beingness will be there still. Like you are a being right now, you'll be a being 1,000 years from now, you'll be being 100 years from now, you'll be being 10,000 years from now, and you will be under certain situation. Okay, and that situation will be built by what? Your actions. Okay. Okay, so actions, so the responsibility for your beingness, or where your being will go, or your where your being is headed, will come from your sense of beingness first. If you refuse to see yourself as a being, then you are not responsible for the future, basically your own future. And then if you're not responsible for your own future, then where is the love or whatever, any of these things, where is that going to come from? Like, I mean, because is there any love without responsibility? I mean, tell me, is there any love without responsibility? Like, I mean,
I, I don't think
yeah,
it can exist. Love
yeah,
is
yeah,
big. Love is big. It's huge. It's a lot of stuff. And yeah,
yeah. And can it be responsibility without responsibility? Love, what is love without, you know if you can't even be responsible, like what, I mean, love is a very huge term for, like, if you don't can't be responsible even, like, so that's why I don't like using those kind of terms. I like to come much more simple and basic sort of things, that you're a being, you are responsible for your beingness, your actions will have consequences to your being, your state of being. These are the things which people need to learn about, and these are the things people need to hear from, not just from me, from everyone. And if like 100,000 people were saying that, then everybody would be like getting more of this sense, okay, which is the actual reality. Like, I mean, like, let's talk about reality. Let's not talk about, like, people want to talk about, okay, what is beyond Antarctica, here and there, but what about your being? Like, i mean I mean, there might be beings out there, okay, and how will you deal with those beings? Even there are beings out there, how will you deal with those beings if you don't know what your being is and what their being is? How can you deal with anything? you know and you'll always do mistakes. So some beings, that's why I say, like, right now people are programmed to always do the wrong thing in front of higher beings. Okay, so right now, if any higher beings come on earth, anything, then all these people will misbehave in front of those beings. And what will happen from that? They'll like dig their own grave as beings by doing that kind of thing. And that's what the programming is. Programming is only like this misbehavior in front of higher, because people are just told to be like, no, nothing is sacred, nothing is more, nothing has more spirit, nothing has more power, nothing is sacred, like none of that is there. Okay, so then say sense of sacred and sanctity is lost. Okay, so all of that is like sanctity, sacredness, all of those things, which is like behavior. Now behavior is also a sacred thing. It is a sanctity, there's a sanctity to behavior. Okay, how you behave with a being has to have some sense of sacredness and sanctity. Okay, but that is not going to be there if you don't understand that you're a being and your behavior matters. The word behavior doesn't even come anywhere, in the truther community. Behavior is not important. It's not a word at all in the truther community at all. Like, like it's just this experiment, or this that thing, or this thing, that thing. I mean, I've got nothing against people looking at this world properly. I've got nothing against it. I'm fine with people like seeing the reality of things instead of what NASA has told them or the governments have told them. That's good to break out of that illusion which they created for you. Like, okay, that's a very good thing that you do that. Okay, but once you break out of that illusion, then you should realize that something is going wrong. Why are they trying to hide all of this? What was the whole point? What was this whole thing to this? Like what they're actually hiding is your own beingness.
I
from
was
you.
gonna come to
Yeah,
this and ask
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Then the
yeah,
lies that you read
yeah,
in and stuff makes a
yeah.
lot of sense suddenly.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's not just. I mean, that's a good step. Like, good step is that you come to figure out that everything which was told to you from the government and all of this thing and all of these institutions was a lie. Okay, that's good. You are at that. Then you have to understand why that lie.
Why? This is
For,
what
for,
I ask
yeah, for
myself
what purpose?
often. Why is there so many
Yeah.
lies and deception and we're blind to it?
For what purpose? There has to be a purpose. Okay. Purpose was so that you never come to know of your beingness. Okay, like you are like even the flat earth thing, the whole thing was that, okay, if you are on a plane of existence, which is plane, planet, plane.
Looks
Okay, you're
like
on a
it.
plane. Yeah, yeah. So plane. So like you are in a plane of existence, then you are a being on it. Okay. So you are being standing on that plane. Okay, you're standing on that plane. Now, if you there's a plane, there'll be something above, there'll be something below. Okay. And you are standing somewhere. Okay, now you have to decide which where you want to stand. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there or somewhere else, then it gives you a sense of up and down and everything. With that whole heliocentric model, with the earth just running around and round and round the sun, and the sun running round and round the galaxy and everything, there was no sense of up and down. Everything was just like that. It was just a mechanical round and round merry-go-round,
Oh, the
where
merry-go-round. That's what it
yeah,
is.
where there is no evolution, there's no up, there's no down, there's no higher, there's no lower. If there is going to be no higher and lower, then the whole thing is there's a huge problem is this, then you have nothing to strive to. If there's nothing higher, if there's no higher world, without disease, without pain, without death, without any of these things, negative things, without any of this nonsense, without that thing, then what is there to strive for? There
And
is nothing to strive for.
it's so crazy. I
Yeah,
just thought of it. Everything, everything goes like clockwise. We turn screw clockwise to screw them and all this, but suddenly the earth is going counterclockwise. Like everything is like upside
yeah,
down, not upside down, but reverse and everything to take away our realization that we are beings or we are something very, very divine. And so they mix us up with all kinds of numbers and going backwards and like
yeah.
tilted.
That's mechanistic. It's a mechanistic merry-go-round. I can only call it as mechanistic merry-go-round. Okay,
Yeah,
so I mean, if you put in that, the point was the whole thing. Right now, also, it's a taboo in the West even to say higher and lower. Okay, everyone is equal. Like in the West, like there's a huge that thing that everyone is equal. Like even though in reality, like people will not be like there. Somebody will be a millionaire, billionaire, and then other people will be struggling just to make a living, but everybody is equal. Okay, like okay, like I mean, it's this is a push, and people buy it because it suits the ego fine. Ego doesn't want to be lesser than anybody. Okay, I mean, so they play on people's ego. Like okay, so
yeah,
like ego wants to be, is very fine with that everybody's equal, and when equal, then I'm better than the equal. When when they are with each other, and that thing, that's where the war happens, with people's egos clash. Okay, I mean, whether it's in a household or whether it's anywhere, like in this whole world, you see egos will be clashing with each other all the time. Like this,
that's all it
there's
is.
no, yeah, there is no end to that. Okay, because but ego is not beingness. Your ego is not your beingness. Okay, there's a difference between your ego and your beingness. Your ego can be a big balloon like that, but your beingness can be this little dot like that. Okay, I mean, so there is a huge difference between what your ego is and what your beingness is. Okay, and to look past the ego, that's where honesty comes. Like if a being can look past their ego, then they'll come to know what their actual level of being is, what they can actually do or not do. you know Not to make up lies about what they can do and cannot do. Like like within yourself, like you have to be very, very honest with yourself to know what you can do and cannot do, like James saying. So if you start lying to yourself, then that's when the problem starts. you know like then that is not being done by outside. That's not being done by any institutions or anything. Then you are lying to yourself.
That's
That's
why
a
it's
totally.
easier to lie to us with all kinds of construct than
Yeah,
knowing the truth, than being taught the truth, like in school or stuff like that.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I think it would cause like a glitch, a discordance inside, because you're taught truth, but you live a lie. So it's easier to put people in lies because they live the lie. So,
yeah. They live the lie, and they're lying to themselves. Okay,
and they're
first, like
lying to
they're lying.
themselves. So it's easier to lie to them.
lie to them because they are lying to themselves. And so if you stop the lying to yourself, then the outside construct will go away for you.
It
That lying
causes less
construct.
chaos in the
Yes,
world
yes,
to being lied to than
yes,
being told the truth. It would cause less chaos. That's what it does.
yes,
People are
yeah,
more
yeah.
being,
I
not
mean,
being told lies. Like I can make sense today a bit more of it.
yes, yes, and the point is like that's where the word humble will come. Like a being will get more humble the more they get in touch with their beingness. Okay, the humility will come. Okay, instead of arrogance, the opposite is humility. Like arrogance is opposite is humility. So
Yeah.
humility will come. But beings will be more humble in their dealings. And when that humility comes towards the multiverse and through the thing as a whole, then you are a different being. Then from that point, you are ready to evolve yourself. You are ready to increase that your state of being, basically. That's what like in ancient times, in Vedic times, there were rishis and stuff who were beings with great knowledge and they had a great level of being. And there were other beings who didn't have that knowledge and that level of being, so they became their disciples, and then they would reach that level by being their disciples. Okay, so they were humble to them. So that was the whole way, like like I mean, so that was the whole ancient way, like James said. And we have gone so far away from that. you know right now our teacher actually stands while the kids sit down, even in school and colleges and professors and stuff, like they are standing, and the kids are sitting.
Yeah,
if,
yeah,
if
yeah.
if you notice the system like difference now, like James saying, earlier the teacher would be sitting and the students will be standing. Now the teacher is standing and the students are sitting. Even if you go to a school and college or university or wherever. So I mean, it's totally upside down, the whole thing. Yeah, I mean,
Totally true.
I mean, you can see it, like, I mean, you can just see it in this that thing paradigm right now. I mean, I mean, if you don't have any humility, if you don't have any actual respect, you will not learn anything. You will not learn anything. Nothing will go into your head, nothing will stay, nothing which you will be able to apply in your life. And if you are not able to apply something in your life, then it's not useless. If there's no application of your learning for your own existence, your whole life, your own existence, then what is the purpose of it? What is the use? I mean, it's totally useless. And that's why, like, I mean, that people think beings can learn from that kind of thing. You can never learn from that kind of thing. You will just maximum do some that thing and write something in an exam and pass out there and stuff. Like, you'll never learn anything. Like, no one learns anything at schools and colleges and any of these things. you know it's a total sham. The whole thing is a sham. It's not for learning, the whole thing. you know I mean, that earlier, like, that's what it was like. The beings which were learning, they were humble and respectful. If you're not that, how can you learn anything? I mean, how possibly can you receive that in knowledge within yourself and do something about it, like Jim saying? I mean, I don't see
The
how
o-
that is even possible.
yeah.
Yeah, like,
The only
I
real
mean,
place I started myself to learn something was here with you guys on YouTube.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
much in
yeah.
school, I don't remember too much what I've learned there or what they taught me. But here, what
Yeah.
I've learned on YouTube, man, this is something like with you, Arthur, Jabba, all these people, Santos. Yeah, I don't. Whatever it's good to get to know
I mean,
yourself
Santos
more.
also, like, I mean, Santos, when he gives lectures, I know that Santos was giving lectures and people are sitting down and he's standing.
Yeah,
I mean, how is that gonna? I mean, okay, if you want to learn something from that person, I mean, that's just so wrong. Like, I mean, it's wrong. I mean, it's not right. I mean, like, there should be respect for that. I mean, and people sit in all kinds of loutish ways. You know? Yeah.
keep going. Hold on. Okay. Oh, sorry, Prashant. I have someone for my son, the bus driver.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. And it's not just that people are sitting in very derogatory poses. Even when they're sitting, they are sitting with their legs all apart and that thing, and like in totally graceless, disgraceful manner. Okay, like, if you hold your body in a disgraceful way and manner, like, nothing is gonna happen for you. You're not going to learn anything. You're not going to improve even this 1 inch. you know and people are sitting up on these chairs and sofas, and that's why I think that's why people were given all these sofas and beds and everything, so that their posture becomes like that. They become totally unethical. and totally irreverential. The word is irreverential. Should not have any reverence for higher or learning or any of these things. Like, so the word is irreverential. Okay, everything is designed like people were given beds, sofas, all of these things to become more irreverential. Because when people started sleeping in beds, people thought they were kings. Everybody thought they are kings now. Okay, people used to sleep down on the ground before. Now everybody's that thing, so people are that thing. So people are lounging on their sofas everywhere. So that gives them, oh, like they are like, there's nothing to change. There's nothing to do. Yeah, there's no work to be done on your being. No grace required. No grace needs to be worked on. Nothing. So you understanding the kind of climate that kind of thing creates, and that's what the problem is. And to use the word love in all of that is totally like polluting that word completely. In this kind of situation and scenario, and this kind of body postures and this kind of yeah, like there is no sense of using your body properly, because your body language is the thing which will show the love, right? I mean, without your body language, how can you, like, like, it's not possible to like show anything, like Jim saying, because your body is your tool, and that's the one thing which you're carrying, which shows anything about you. So, and how
But
you're being.
that's why also we have more and more comfort. Everything is becoming more comfortable, more easy to do and stuff in the world. Like we invent stuff that is making
But
our
it's not
life
comfortable.
easier and easier,
But it's
getting
not.
less
But
and huh?
no, they're not comfortable. Comfortable. There's nothing is like the
But I
sofas are
mean,
not comfortable. Like,
uncomfortable in the
but they're not
comfortable. But
comfortable. Like these beds right now, they have these springs and stuff. Okay, and they're very bad for your body. They're your body when you're sleeping in the night, and that is totally under discomfort. It's not a proper bed. Like it doesn't have that hardness which and softness which is required for it to be comfortable. Like sofas, and the way your body slouches into these sofas, it's not comfortable. It is bad for your body, and it creates you body aches and stuff. It gives you all kinds of problems. It gives you like muscle problems, bone problems. It gives you arthritis. It gives you all these things. It's not comfortable at all.
no,
Like,
but we are under the impression that sitting on
yeah,
the couch is comfortable. That's what we
yeah, but
think.
but it is not comfortable. Yeah, but in actual reality, is not comfortable for the
No,
body.
no,
What
for
I'm talking
sure.
about comfort is real comfort. Like if you sit on some cotton like sheet mat, like which is like a thick cotton. If you get a thick cotton mat and that thing, and you sit on it, you'll feel comfortable, actually comfortable. Like, but there is the actual comfort here, but it's not in what they have given. None of these things. These are instruments of torture. All of these
Sometimes
are
you're
sometimes
more comfortable directly on the floor, just with a
yes.
little foam sleeping on
Yeah.
it than on the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are instruments of torture they have given.
Yeah.
That is torturing your body and your posture, and you will pay the result of that. People do pay the price for these instruments of torture. It does not happen. you know all
It's
kinds
gonna
of
happen.
physical malfunctions. Yeah, they happen. So comfort means that you don't get sick, you don't everything, body stays fine. That is comfort. Okay, cotton is comfortable. Cotton is offer these springs in the bed, like which are metal springs. If you
And
put on the metal springs, you will not feel comfortable, like at all. Like it's where your body is going in at different ways, and it's just
and
it's
the
yeah.
the body's not really designed for that anyway. If you look at our design, I think we're designed to live in an environment, first of all, that is harsh, and we have to try to survive and do stuff every day to stay alive. Like
Yeah,
originally, that's what we're designed for. If you take a child and put him in nature in a jungle or whatever, he
yeah.
will find a way to survive each and every day. His senses will be there. Like he'll be have a sharp mind eventually
and
because
no, and then your body language will change, because if
yeah,
you use wrong body language to do the wrong things, then those things will not happen, and they will cause you will not be able to do them without the proper body language. See
yeah,
what I'm saying? So nature teaches you that in that way, the body
yeah.
language. And the same thing is applied to dealing with other beings. Okay, and so that yeah.
Look, he's comfy sitting on a rock.
Yeah, yes,
That
yes,
guy, he's sitting on
yes,
a rock, like, and he seems very, very comfy. So
yes, yeah. But for that, his posture is a certain grace to it. The posture has a certain grace to it. It's not lounging. If you compare that to a person lounging on a couch, you know, you
yeah,
compare
yeah,
that
yeah.
posture, you will come to know the difference. Okay, you will come to know the difference between how a person looks like lounging on a couch, and that thing. You will come to know the grace difference. I mean, in nature, you have to. I mean, if he doesn't put his things properly, he'll fall from there. If he doesn't do the body language right out there, he'll not be able to stand on that branch at all. You know, so that's a body language at a very basic level. Like a very very basic level, and then there is a body language for treating your body right. Like in a way which is natural. Yeah,
And no one taught him this. His mother or
yeah,
his father didn't told him this. It comes instinctively because they're in nature constantly. That's why animals are looks very natural to us because they are in
yep.
nature, but we're so denatured, so like
But the
we
thing
have
is,
lost that.
but there's a double-edged sword. Like animals don't have that kind of consciousness where they can make that free will choice to be like we have a free will choice to be this way, that way. As human being, you have a free will choice of being many kind of ways. You have that choice. They don't have that choice. So they cannot do the wrong because they don't have the choice. Okay. Yeah. But you can because you have choice. Okay.
Yeah,
So you are at a higher level, but you that comes with a double-edged sword. You can do better than them. You can do better things and better actions, and raise yourself even more, much more than they can. you
so
know
these are
so yeah,
beings. That's why sometimes they refer to people as
yeah,
animals because they are beings also. So you can
yes,
easily refer.
yeah,
We're all
yeah,
beings. Everything that is living is a being. It's just a different state. Like for sure,
yeah,
my state
yeah.
of being is probably. But I don't know if the consciousness is in a program state is higher than this creature.
Yeah, but they can't make a they don't have free will in that kind of way, which human beings have. They don't have that that gear of consciousness for the free will.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
which again stops them from doing too many stupid actions. That what makes them not do nonsense. But human beings have the free will, so there is more opening. Then you can do more good and more wrong. Okay,
yeah,
more right and more wrong. You have both options, which is a good thing to have compared to that. But then you have to use it wisely. You know, like that's. But for that, you still have to know that you're a being, and your actions have any sense of responsibility. Which comes down to the same thing. You know, like but the more your consciousness is, the more your responsibility you carry with that.
yeah,
That is there obviously. Like you cannot that thing. So I'm not saying that people should go back to animal state or anything like that. you know but they should use their human state more properly by knowing that they're a being and their actions have consequences, and that your actions make your future. So that's
yeah,
so you have to decide upon your body language, and because as a human being you can be more graceful than animals. Your body has more chance for grace than these beings have. Okay. so
yeah,
like best to start doing it, like not delay with any of this process. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, thank you very much, Prashant. We said we were gonna do an hour. It's been an hour. You have stuff to do today, so
yeah, yeah,
we're gonna cut that one short to an hour. But it's a good reasoning. We're gonna keep going on this next Wednesday for sure when you come back. That's it. So thank you very much. Thanks everyone in the chat also for keeping this very much alive because there's lots of people in there with great vibration all the time. Eventually, we'll do one also. I'll take all the comments and the comments in the chat because I can go back into them and I'll make a list of all the people's questions that I haven't seen during the interview or stuff because I'm focusing on you. I'm not really focusing what's going on there. I see the activity, but the focus is here. Like, so I'm seeing crystal clear. So
okay,
that's it. So eventually I'll take all the comments, all the chat comments, and we'll do another reasoning on this and answer people's
okay, okay,
questions and stuff. Yeah, no, that would be interesting. So honesty, trust, don't have a too big of a ego. Don't be too arrogant with life. That I think that's the basic of the message. Wear your ego like a loose garment. That's what one of my friends say. Always wear your ego as a very very loose garment, like you have now on you, and we
yes,
should be okay to get
yes,
at least to get the reason together and elevate constantly, which is what my
yes,
personal goal is. Like I don't think I can take the well on my shoulder, but at least I can take responsibility for my own life and what
yes.
I do here. Like I say, I'm true to myself, true to the fire inside. So I just keep on going and walking and
Okay,
opening the book of life more and more and learning. I'm open to learning and to connecting and sharing. So,
yes, yes.
boom.
Okay.
Merci beaucoup, Prashant. On se voit encore la semaine prochaine. We see you next week. with Prashant. Boom!